2 days ago, I told you guys do not invest in Tesla right now because the stock looks shaky and primed for a drop. And because of my conviction in this, I put my money where my mouth was and actually shorted the stock the next day. Here's a recap of what I did right, what I did wrong, and how much money I ultimately left on the table. What we're looking at here is the Tesla stock chart. Right here is pre-earnings. This is the next following more than the first 5 minutes of the day. Everything else that's about to happen has been blocked out and will be shown to you very shortly. You're going to see where I got into my trade, where I exited my trade, my short position, and how much money I left on the table and the mistake that I made. We're going to jump down here, and this is a 7.5, almost 8% move lower. So when that happens, you can have kind of people jumping in, seeing it as a good deal, and trying the next morning to jump in and get some action right here, buy some stock. Or sometimes there's algorithmic trading that's programmed to jump back in and buy shares if it drops by 5%, 6%, whatever that number may be. So sometimes you get these drops and these kind of little pops back up at the market opens. And then this market kind of moves a little bit lower as the day goes on. It just depends on what the sentiment is or if the earnings report is digested in a certain way. But what happened here is we had that little pop. I'll show you. We'll get going here, right? Here we go. We're jumping upwards, and then boom, this happened. We're going to freeze it right there. So when this kind of candlestick happened right here, let's zoom in on this. That was my kind of decision point that this might be turning bearish because we had this little move up and we had this rejection candle, right? This is showing that people want the price to move higher, and this long wick up here is showing that there's a rejection there. The sellers jump back in, and when you have two kind of long indecision candles at the top, there's one here saying we're not going to go any higher. It could be signaling a transition. And my money, I was betting that it was. When I saw this big candle here, I decided to get in. I got in somewhere in the middle when this candle was established. Put a little line in here for it. I show you where I got in. Right around 167.90. We'll go 90.89 right there just to show. So that was my entry right there. Let's make that blue. That was going in the trade. And then I had a price kind of target of just the low of the day. That's where I wanted to get to. Low of the day. We'll say that's the green line. That's our profit target. So if we go from there, and I shorted this 100 shares. So I shorted 100 shares, which means if I go down from 167.89 down to 165, what I'm going to get is the difference between the prices here. So that's almost $3 in profit. Let's call it $3. So $300 in profit if this hits this area and I cash out. If I have a stop loss, which you always want to have, it was up here, right at the kind of the high for the day, 167.62. So as you guys remember in other videos, you always want to have a bigger profit target versus a stop loss. So if you maximize your profit and let it run, you'll increase your odds of staying liquid in the game versus having a very short stop loss to make sure your losses are protected. So that's where I set my kind of targets for. And then I ended up going ahead and watching the market for a bit. And this is what happened. Price went down, kind of moving around a little bit. And then we had this kind of area where it wasn't moving. And I decided that I wasn't wanting to play around with the market anymore. I didn't see any kind of movement up or down after a few minutes, almost an hour into the market, hour and a half. So I decided to take profit, and I took profit right around this line right here, 167, right around this candle right there. I booked some profit. Let's make this a purple line. Okay, that purple line is where I took my profit, and I wasn't seeing the penetration moving down. So I decided to book some profit, which is never a bad thing, but you always want to see some kind of winners kind of go on a run. You always feel bad taking profit too early. So I booked about 90 bucks in profit for a quick little trade here on Tesla. And this is what happened. This is my big mistake here. Watch what happens with the rest of Tesla for the rest of the day. We keep kind of going along that same area. Then we had these boom, two big candlesticks, right? We're moving a little bit lower. And then again, we keep moving through, okay, moving through my stop, my actual profit target, kind of around it there. And we keep moving lower, and we keep moving lower, and we keep moving lower. And then we kind of consolidate for a little bit, and we move a little bit lower still. And now it's midday, 12 o'clock, kind of people go out for lunch to trade. We'll speed this up a little bit for you. Go 3x, just get through the day. And that kind of meandered the rest of the day here and moved ultimately a little bit lower going in 2 o'clock, right? We're getting a little bit lower, even still 162, 161, even lower. And boom, it kind of meanders there to finish the day. And that's the next day's open. So if you go back here and show where we closed, the low for the day, 160.55. I cashed out at 167.05, leaving me with roughly $700 missed opportunity cost in Tesla. But you cannot predict these things. You have to work with what you got. And back here, where I saw this consolidation pattern, I wasn't patient enough, and I didn't kind of trust what I saw on the chart. So I decided to book some profit here, and I made some money. Could have made more. Should have made more, probably. It's something I'm going to work on and keep working on as a stock trader. I'm going to celebrate the win, number one, and go back and understand what happened in the trade. What can I do better for next time? I know next time to always have an idea of where I want my stock price to go to. If I break above this line, let's say, maybe I want to break even and have a stop loss as this trade moves on and pull my stop loss down lower, so that if I do end up losing money, it's not so much, and it's maybe up here at 168.15 versus up here at 169. I left $700 on the table. It is what it is. It's another trade in the books. It's a profitable one in this case, and this is just some food for thought for you guys. But the stock analysis was good in this one. It ended up being a winner. They don't always win, which is all you have to have the stop loss, but it's nice when they do, and always take the lessons learned, applying for the next trade to get better. Hope you guys got some value in this one. Keep subscribing and watch along if you did. Thank you so much for checking this out, and I will catch you later.